Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin evening update. Actually, just been a bit busy this weekend. Thought we'll get a video out before. I say before the markets open tomorrow. Obviously, it's a holiday in the US, but obviously the futures and European markets and Asian markets will all be open. So we'll get some price action, but yeah, that all being said, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts where not a lot has been going on. As you can see, we are just doing our best to try and hold this support area. Is not looking too good, looking very much like a very much like a descending triangle. Obviously a bearish formation off the back of a move down. So yes, do we hold this level? We shall have to see. If not, then we're probably looking at a move down to the recent lows, and then if we take them out, $1,000 probably lower, at least initially, and then we'll have to see what happens from that point. But yeah, we obviously know that we do kind of follow the direction of the it's not like we follow, let's just make it clear, we don't actually follow the direction of stocks. Is that we're all being driven by something, which is obviously the concerns of liquidity and tightening and all that fun stuff. So we're all being driven by a third variable. So yeah, correlation isn't causation, i.e. so the stocks aren't causing Bitcoin to move. The correlation is caused by something else that's causing them both to move. That's causing A and B. It isn't A making B move. It is C making A and B move. So yeah, there we go. Bad price action yesterday. Initially it rallied off farm payrolls with weakening employment and most importantly was the weakening part of the wage inflation, because obviously wage inflation is one of the worst things if inflation is going to set into an economy. So that was it's pretty good if you're not wanting high inflation. However, the market initially thought it was good and then just got slammed right back down again. Tested our recent lows, which is the lows of this move down, and then did bounce off a little bit, which is fair enough off the back of such a large move down intraday. So we'll have to see how price action decides to play out, because quite clearly if we take out this low, it would also be this low, and then yeah, we'll be looking at lower prices. We still have got plenty of room to run to the downside in the stocks before we start to threaten these lows. As you can see, I mean, if you want to look at it, if you want to measure it in percentage wise, bearing in mind that stocks don't move as much as crypto, to hit the lows it's over 7%. So that is quite a big move for stocks. If that does happen, we shall have to expect to see Bitcoin at least down to the $16,500 level, unless things are different this time. You never know. Maybe we get some ETH saves the crypto market. I see people on Twitter trying to take the Michael over this. We don't think ETH is going to save the world risk markets. We think ETH could potentially give actual crypto markets a bid, and by crypto markets we basically mean ETH or Ethereum. So yeah, the Ethereum Satoshi pairing is getting back up towards that 0.08, which we want to see it at. This is a relatively constructive, bullish looking chart in all fairness. But again, I keep saying the same term. It's like shifting deck chairs on the Titanic. If Bitcoin and crypto and risk assets are going to go down, then that is great. All that's happening is Ethereum's not going down as much, but it is going down. So yeah, there you go. Bitcoin dominance. This chart is extremely bearish looking, but it is hitting an important support level. Let's just look at a wider time frame. It is hitting an important support level. So do we bounce here and then just take another leg up? We very much could. Maybe that happens. Maybe there is a sort of a buy the rumor, sell the factor part of the merge, but I actually don't think there will be. I think it's more of a it's like when you get a murder and execution, or a merger and acquisition, where you'll get the price that's been offered. That'll be the price ultimately it will sell for, and then as that sale becomes more and more likely, price will move up towards that price, and then ultimately if the sale goes through, then obviously it settles at that price. I.e. that means that Ethereum can basically move up in anticipation of the merge, and then when the merge actually finalizes, and i.e. we confirm that sale, if we are equating it to a merger or acquisition, then the price, obviously the company that's been bought, then Ethereum can then move up to that price. So that's just another way of looking at it, another little nuance of looking at it. So obviously don't forget there is also the matter of the unwinding of the large. Basically, people are buying the spot Ethereum and selling the perps against it to obviously get the spot forked coins, and then obviously sell the perp to hedge. So they're obviously doing that in quite large numbers. So then they will then have to buy that back. Once they get their coins, they will then obviously dump the fork coins, and we'll have to see what happens there. And then obviously we'll have to see what happens with the Ethereum futures contracts when they obviously cover their big short positions. So there'll be an interesting dynamic there to look at. Generally speaking, though, market's not looking that good. We saw that. We've seen the dollar index. Just this is like everybody, like not everybody. This is the global wrecking ball. It is pretty disgusting. Other countries are going to be getting fed up. I think we're all getting fed up of the US anyway. Let's face it, we're getting fed up of that clown banana republic place over there. But yeah, this ain't too good. It is a massive reflection of a dire situation in Europe, and obviously a bad situation in Japan, because they are the two main proponents of it. If we do want to look at some currencies, let's look at I'm actually looking on here for the Euro USD. Not sure. There it is, Euro USD. There we go. Just absolute disgusting chart. Yeah, hit to the trend line, bounced down. Still looking bearish, but got room to trade sideways, bounce into the trend line before getting rejected. If it confirms above, then great. But the only realistically way this is going to start to have any bullish price action is if there is conflict resolution, because the situation is going to be extremely dire going into the winter in Europe. So that is going to, obviously they're going to have to be printing money like it's going out of fashion to basically give people money to pay their energy bills, which then is going to cause obviously the currency to go down, and that energy priced in that currency to then go even higher. Then they need to give people more money, and literally this is what actually caused the Weimar Republic hyperinflation, was that France basically confiscated some energy producing regions from the Germans. They then didn't have the energy. They had to then print their currency to buy the energy, and yeah, are we just looking at the Weimar Republic on a whole European scale? Yes, if we don't get a conflict resolution. The US obviously, the lying BS US has obviously said they'll give Europe all the energy it needs, which it can't do, because it doesn't have the energy terminal capacity, and also even if they do, they still have to pay for it at whatever price. And the price and then the numbers going up. Oil, however, a little bit of a different story, as you can see, weakening off, but obviously not weakening off for any good reasons. Weakening off because obviously these concerns that are going around at the moment. Yeah, markets are dire. These markets are looking like we could potentially have some Black Monday, some stock market crash type event at some point. Maybe we get like a big crash, and that will be the strong bottom we put in. We shall have to see if the dollar keeps doing this. The 10-year eased off ever so slightly, but ever so slightly. If it moves back towards 4%, then yeah. A lot of people are thinking the Fed is going to raise to 4% and then hold it at 4% for a couple of years, and that would probably do the trick. But they're then going to have to be then pumping liquidity. So they're going to have to liquefy markets some other way. And at a period of time when they're meant to be reducing liquidity. Basically, it's very simple. We are in a Ponzi scheme, and that is in its death throes, where you have to print ever increasing amounts. And we've seen that with each lot of QE has been exponents of the previous QE, and obviously not. It's just that's what it is, isn't it? That's what it is. So. Obviously interest rates going up is not good for that. What else do we want to look at? That is about it, actually. That is about it. We shall get those stochastics up. Yeah, 4 hour could turn up here. Could maybe help us hold the line for a little bit longer. But I mean, obviously, we've been testing it quite a few times here, as we can see. The 12 hour could give us some upward momentum, maybe helps us out. Daily turn up from quite a low level. However, looking like it does potentially wants to threaten to turn back down. However, it's turning up at the moment. Buy daily looking to turn up from a low level here. Also, 3-day is still diving. 5-day freshly turned down. Weekly freshly turned down from a low level. I think we saw that anyway. And then bi-weekly, not too sure of what it wants to do. We'll have a brief glance at the monthly, because obviously it's a new month. That getting pretty deep also. I mean, it's looking like we are going to hit a low at some point and have a very decent rally, even if that is not the actual ultimate bottom. However, there is still scope for us to move down further, and it would, just with a general understanding of how markets all trade, it would make sense to maybe get a wick down to 16.5. Who knows if that wick goes a bit rogue. Who knows how low it could get, but a wick down to about 16.5. Then just grind our way back up and up back towards 30,000 and see what happens up there. Is a potential, but yeah, failing that, we have to hold here, move up, which we could do. I guess we're going to be watching. Well, what if the trend is your friend, or the trend is not your friend, and this not your friend trend is looking pretty strong. Again, with the dollar index, the trend is not your friend, and with the trend is looking like it's going to continue to not be a friend. And then stock markets, not good, not good underneath this level. I mean, this is the last area to hold. We know that we've got people coming back from holiday now. They sell in May and come back in St. Leger's Day, or yeah, sell in May and come back. Yeah, that's it, St. Leger's Day. But yeah, obviously it's a volume could come into the market, and if that volume comes in a selling volume, then adios, adios MF, KR. We will be seeing new lows. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, this rally getting supported here, it was looking very good until Mr. JP decided that he wants to fight inflation. In the only way that they can fight inflation is to make you poor and make you lose your job, and then you can't buy things, therefore prices come down. That is as simple as they fight. That is how they fight inflation. And you know what they do when the central banks want to stimulate the economy? They reduce rates. They basically make the rich richer and then hope some of that will trickle down. So when they want to stimulate, they make the rich richer, and then some of that trickles down, but mainly the rich get richer. And then when they want to curb inflation, they make the poor poorer. And then hopefully that brings prices down. So in the good times, make the rich richer. In the bad times, basically attack the poor. Literally attack the poor. So yeah, what a wonderful system. So yeah, that is it, guys. Hope you all had a great weekend. I shall be back tomorrow morning. We'll see how these markets trade tomorrow, and particularly Tuesday. Yeah, thanks for listening, and I shall speak to you guys soon.